Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome to Season 2 of Vampyre Clan in ClanGen. In the last episode, we settled into the mountain ruins and reacquainted ourselves with our vampire cats. Along with getting to know the various characters in our series, we also lingered on some personal wounds inflicted by Ibis Freckle on Bloomrise and her paralyzed father Twilight Fade. We are now picking up on the second turn of New Leaf, and it is Moon 73. So let's dive in and take a look at what happens next. Apparently, there is nothing of note, nothing interesting is happening in the clan in this moon. But that's fine. We're gonna go through the medicine cat den in a second over here. Something I wanted to quickly check up on was the warrior's den, so that we can see what focus we have. My memory is a little bit hazy, but in the last episode, we did see that the loyalties are kind of split in the clan. A majority do support Blue Star, but some of them don't. And in my head, I feel like whether or not they support a leader oftentimes does come down to what the clan focus is. They're either in support or they're against the clan focus. And the reason why that's all connected is because I only change the clan focus whenever we have a new leader that comes into power, and whatever the new leader's trait is, that kind of influences, like what their personality is, influences what sort of focus we have. So obviously with Grandmaster Bluestar, her focus is helping other clans, and that's kind of why she's managed to have good relations with the hunting clans. She's brought us some much needed peace, which is very, very nice, because under the previous leader, which I think was Shivering Star, we did have a lot of strife and our lives were constantly at risk. So things are very different under Blue Star. Obviously, a bunch of the vampires are happy and safe with the motions she's been making, but I imagine cats like Burnleaf and Ibis Freckle and Fawn Nest, I think in their heads, this move has made it so that they've forgotten a part of their vampiric identity and they feel as though the vampires should not be apologetic for the way they are. And they should not have to control the thirst they have for, wandering kittens and wandering queens and their blood. So they don't really like the limits the hunters put on them, and they don't really want to follow it. I thought that was something interesting, and that's kind of why I wanted to check up on that. But let's go to the medicine cat den and see what's happening on this front. Okay, Twilight Fade was given Elder Leaves as treatment for sprain. Twilight Fade was given Daisy as treatment for being paralyzed. And Alfeather gathered plantain, cobwebs, juniper, and daisy this moon. Very nice, she is hard at work. Let's check up on our relationships. Grandmaster Bluestar can't believe how talented Alfeather is, which is very sweet because her daughter has been quite hard at work in the medicine cat den, so I'm glad that she's being acknowledged for that. When tucking in for the night, Grandmaster Bluestar saw that Fawn Nest fixed her nest, which is very sweet because I think he is her son-in-law, because he is mated to Alfeather. Burnleaf and Alfeather splash each other in a puddle, but it doesn't look playful. Okay, there's some tension between father and daughter. Burnleaf notices some of Eagle Kid's fur on his fresh kill. Burnleaf was caught enjoying a moonlit stroll with Twilight Fade last night. That's so sweet. These two are mates. So it's kind of nice that being retired and spending so much time together, they are able to, have some sort of connection. I feel a lot of the times the older cats end up becoming quite lonesome, but I'm kind of happy that they have each other. Twilight Fade convinces Fawn Nest to help him pull a prank on a clanmate. Twilight Fade can hear the truth in Blue Star's words when she talks about protecting others, which is very nice. Twilight Fade is one of the cats who is in support of Grandmaster Bluestar, and Bluestar I think is charismatic, so she's just really good at talking. Master Quiet Flight and Bloomrise argued about something trivial and neither of them apologized. Okay. I wonder if Bloomrise said something to Quiet Flight about Ibis Freckle. I don't think Bloomrise... See, with Twilight Fade, he doesn't mention anything about Ibis Freckle, but he hates her. He keeps his hate, under wraps. Bloomrise doesn't have as strong of a feeling about Ibis Freckle, but she's wary, and I think she tries out of her goodness to let the other cats know that there is something they should be careful about when it comes to Ibis Freckle, but I feel like she tries to do it in a subtle way. However, obviously, because Quiet Flight is the mother of Ibis Freckle, she would not take this well. But I don't think Bloomrise would back down either. A clanmate accuses Master Quiet Flight of copying one of Bloomrise's jokes. Owlfeather is surprised by her brother Fornest, actually no, her mate Fornest, sorry, my bad, being thoughtful. Okay, that's kind of sweet. Now Owlfeather, I don't think was mated to Fornest initially. Owlfeather was actually mated to Fornest's brother. And she and, I think his name was Pine Speck, but I could be wrong. Where's the family tree? Yeah, Pine Speck. She was mated to Pine Speck, and they were, I think, madly in love. And then he suddenly died. And then she was matched up with Fornest. So that's kind of interesting, the dynamic between these two. I might, out of curiosity, check up on their relationship because I kind of want to see if they are in love with each other. I don't remember that bit of information. Eagle Kid thanked his mother Owlfeather for bringing him food. What a grateful little kitten. Bloomrise takes Sunnytail's side while Sunnytail is in a debate. Eagle Kid sneezed on Sunnytail. Oh, that's kind of cute, but I think maybe these little interactions make Sunnytail a little bit annoyed. I don't think he's used to kind of having someone that young be around him. Like, he's grown up with his sister. And now he's in a relatively important position in the clan. And it's been a while since the clan has had kittens, so I feel like he's a little bit out of practice. Whenever Fornest's name is mentioned, Ibis Freckle relaxes. Of course she would. That's her younger brother. Fornest talks with Bloomrise about some clan drama. Okay, so the drama is most definitely the last negative thing that's happened, which is Eagle Kid sneezing on Sunnytail. I think Fornest and Bloomrise would find it kind of funny the way Sunnytail is reacting to Eagle Kid, because Eagle Kid is also Fornest's nephew. Well, no, what am I saying? His son. I'm getting the relations confused. No, Fornest is the father of Eagle Kid, my bad. Yeah, he's the father, but, you know, he's seeing his little kid be adorable, and Sunnytail is reacting so not strangely, but in such a hilarious way, because it's almost as though he doesn't even know. He's supposed to be a bowl of sunshine, but he doesn't know how to handle this particular bowl of sunshine, you know? Okay, Bloomrise and Sunnytail debate about something interesting. Though they disagree, they stay amicable. Eagle Kid jumps in a puddle, splashing Ibis Freckle. To his surprise, Ibis Freckle laughs. Okay, so this is a family relation that is probably more comparable to Eagle Kid and Sunnytail. So Ibis Freckle is Eagle Kid's aunt, and Sunnytail is his uncle. That's kind of interesting. And their aunt and uncle are kind of mated, but they are aunt and uncle because of their blood relation. Very fascinating. He's almost got like a double relation to them, you know? So that's kind of intriguing. But Ibis Freckle, I was just about to say, seems to like him. Just as I was about to say that, I remembered in the last episode when Ibis Freckle was having a problem with Eagle Kid. So she's very two-faced. She is very two-faced. Last time, though, something opposite was happening. Sunnytail was actually liking Eagle Kid, and then Ibis Freckle, almost as though she wasn't happy with that, was reacting in a negative way. But this time around, because Sunnytail was already kind of confused about Eagle Kid, Ibis Freckle felt that she could be kind to him. I don't get what's going on with her. But you know what? I feel like I forget that these cats are actually vampires, and they do have this dark twisted side to them. Nobody has really displayed this, except for Ibis Freckle up until late. And I feel like that's what's coming out. This twisted vampiric side of herself that has been hidden under this facade of, oh look, they're adorable cats, but actually they have a dark side. Now we're going to take a look at what the cats are doing for the day, but first up, before I forget, I did want to check the relationship between Owlfeather and Fornest, so we're going to jump over to our Whisper Sunnytail. Let's see. Owlfeather and Fornest, just because I want to see what's going on here. Okay, so it looks as though they're both in love with each other, but Owlfeather has, like, her feelings are way stronger for Fornest than his are for her. And I may be remembering this wrong, but I think Owlfeather had a really good relationship with Pinespec, but to my surprise, she got over his death fairly quickly. She got over his death and fell in love with Fornest fairly quickly, and I think Fornest is the one who took more time. That's interesting. And she's insecure. He's childish. Okay, I think Fornest might have retaliated a little bit or taken his time because he kind of felt as though he was his brother's replacement and kind of pushed along with this whole arrangement. But Owlfeather, she wanted some sense of security, and after Pinespec's death, she kind of felt afloat, and I think she held on to Fornest very quickly. So that's fascinating. And obviously Sunnytail, he can't mediate between himself and Ibis Freckle because he is the Whisper, but that's fine. Let's see what everyone's doing for the day. Grandmaster Bluestar is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Master Quietflight purrs as a cool breeze hits her. Owlfeather is thinking about how awful kitty pet food must taste. Sunnytail is relieved Leaf Bear is finally over. Ibis Freckle wonders if she could handle Master Quietflight's position. Okay, so she is shameless and clever. So even if she was caught doing something wrong, she would not deny it. And she has a permanent condition. She has a weak leg, but I don't remember how she got her weak leg. Oh, she was scarred off your fight with Wind Clan cats. Also, I'm just looking at, she was mentored by Quietflight, her mother Quietflight, and apparently some of the things she learned from Quietflight was to resort to violence. Look at that, resort to violence. And that definitely makes sense with what she's kind of done to Twilight Fade. She's made him paralyzed, which is kind of wild. Okay, Fornest, my butt. Let me shut this. Oh, I'm also tracking, apparently, bloodlines. That's right, because we started off with 10 founding vampires, and because we breed within the clan strictly until we can no longer breed and then we are forced to bring in outsiders or initiates, we have every vampire currently in the clan related to one of the original bloodlines. How fascinating is that? That is very fascinating. Okay, Fornest wants to critique Bloomrise's fighting techniques. Is it me, or have Bloomrise and Fornest been spending a lot of time together? Bloomrise saw a Too-Late Kit playing with a dog. Burnleaf thinks about going on a little jaunt outside camp. Twilight Fade saw a Too-Late Kit playing with a dog. And Eagle Kit wants to have fun. Oh, you're adorable. But okay, that is all we have for the cat list. Let's go ahead and move on to patrols. Okay, I was going to jump into patrols, but I got really curious about something and then a little sidetracked, looking at the notes of my cats. There is something that will not make too much sense to you if you are new, but some of these cats do have the title of Prince or Princess. And what that is, that basically sets them apart as elites within the Vampire Clan. And it is a title they are awarded when they graduate their apprenticeship with the highest experience from their litter. And typically, if we have a litter of one kitten, like Eagle Kit, then they will always graduate with the title of Prince or Princess because they don't have any rivals. But in the case of litters where we have multiple kittens, only the one with the highest experience by the end, they're the ones who get the title of Prince or Princess. So I wanted to take a look at that and then also kind of see what bloodlines our cats come from. So Grandmaster Bluestar is actually one of our founding vampires. She's the 8th founding vampire, which is kind of cool. Quietflight, Master Quietflight, is our 9th founding vampire, and she was the only fledgling in her batch and graduated as the Quiet Princess, so that is a title she has. She's also known as the Quiet Princess. And I think she was a fledgling. She must have been a fledgling or a kitten when we started this clan, which is why she's a founding vampire, but she also has the title of Quiet Princess. Let's see, and then Owlfeather is a carrier of 2 vampiric bloodlines from the 4th and 8th founding vampires. She was one of 3 fledglings in her batch and graduated as the Owl Princess. Okay, so out of Owlfeather and her brother Sunnytail, she's the one who was kind of the best apprentice, and so she graduated as the Owl Princess. And then Ibis Freckle. Ibis Freckle is a carrier of 2 vampiric bloodlines from the 5th and 9th founding vampires, which is kind of cool, and obviously the same for her brother. Now, since these 2 are siblings and they don't have the title of prince or princess, what that's telling me is that Pinespeck was actually a prince. So their deceased brother Pinespeck, who we said was the one originally mated to Owlfeather, he was actually the prince. Okay, so he was the best of his batch. Bloomrise is the carrier of 2 vampiric bloodlines from the 6th and 10th founding vampires. She was the only fledgling in her batch and graduated as the Bloom Princess. So we have a lot of princesses. And then Burnleaf is the 4th founding vampire. Twilight Fade is the 6th founding vampire. And Eagle Kit is our most special little one. Because everyone else, unless they are a founding vampire, they have only been carrying 2 bloodlines, but he actually carries 4 bloodlines from the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 9th founding vampires. That is really, really cool. Okay, now that I've gotten that over and done with, we can actually move on to patrols. Let's move on to patrols. So we currently have 24.3 prey. We need 22. We're not struggling for food just yet, but if they don't find anything to eat this time around, we are gonna start struggling in the next episode. So let's send out our Nightstalker, Owlfeather, first off to see what she manages to grab. New Leaf should bring new leaves on the blackberry brambles. Owlfeather heads out to collect some. Proceed. Perfect. There's a good crop of blackberry leaves just waiting for them, and the bramble is starting a war with a temptingly harvestable raspberry bramble nearby. Raspberry and blackberry were gathered, so that was really good, and finally we have our patrol of 5. So Bloomrise, Fawn Nest, Ibis Freckle, Master Quiet Flight, and Grandmaster Blue Star. Let's see what they get up to. It starts snowing soon after the patrol sets out, trying to bring back something for the fresh kill pile. Proceed. Bloomrise really keeps the patrol on task and motivated through the sharp chill of the New Leaf morning. Not through authority or commands, but with a gentle voice and compassionate understanding that encourages every cat to do their best for Vampyre Clan. A medium amount of prey is brought to camp. Look at that, Bloomrise. She's rising to the occasion. Okay, and now we have 60.3 prey, which is very nice. We will not have to worry about food at all. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.